25 black actresses who are the most beautiful in Hollywood. For decades, Hollywood tried to convince the world that beauty only looked one way. Dark skin was ignored. Natural hair was criticized. Black actresses were pushed into stereotypes, while others received the spotlight. But these women changed everything. From Angela Bassett and Halle Berry to Lupita Nyong'o, Rihanna, and Zendaya, they shattered beauty standards that had controlled the entertainment industry for generations. Some were told they were too dark, too different, or not marketable enough. Yet they became global icons admired by millions worldwide. Their beauty was not built on fitting in. It was built on confidence, resilience, and refusing to hide who they truly were. So before we begin, tell us in the comments which black actress or celebrity changed beauty standards the most in your opinion. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and join Memory Lane Black People for more emotional, untold stories from legendary black icons. Angela Bassett. Angela Bassett didn't just become a Hollywood star, she redefined what elegance, power, and black beauty could look like on screen. Born in New York in 1958 and raised in a working-class household in Florida, Bassett built her career through discipline, intelligence, and extraordinary presence rather than relying on Hollywood trends. Long before social media celebrated strong black women, Angela Bassett was already becoming the face of that image for millions of viewers around the world. Her breakthrough arrived in 1993 with What's Love Got to Do with It, where she transformed completely into Tina Turner. Bassett's performance was explosive, emotional, and physically demanding. She trained intensely, studied Turner's movements obsessively, and delivered a performance many critics still consider one of the greatest biographical portrayals ever filmed. The role earned her a Golden Globe and an Academy Award nomination, making her the first black actress nominated for portraying a real-life black singer. Yet despite universal praise, Bassett lost the Oscar that year. For many fans, it became one of Hollywood's most painful snubs. Still, Angela never allowed rejection to diminish her confidence. Instead, she continued building a legacy through films like Waiting to Exhale, How Stella Got Her Groove Back, and later Black Panther, where she carried herself with the commanding grace of a queen. What makes Angela Bassett especially important to this conversation is how she challenged beauty standards without changing herself to fit Hollywood expectations. She never softened her voice, altered her appearance, or diluted her identity to become acceptable. Her dark skin, natural authority, athletic figure, and mature elegance became symbols of timeless beauty in an industry long obsessed with narrow standards. Even in her 60s, Angela Bassett continues stunning audiences worldwide. In 2023, after her Oscar-nominated performance in Black Panther, Wakanda Forever, social media exploded with praise for her beauty, confidence, and unmatched screen presence. She became living proof that black women do not lose power with age. They often grow even stronger. Angela Bassett didn't simply survive Hollywood, she forced Hollywood to evolve around her. Lupita Nyong'o. Lupita Nyong'o changed global beauty standards by embracing the very features the entertainment industry once ignored. Born in Mexico City in 1983 to Kenyan parents and raised in Kenya, Lupita grew up rarely seeing women who looked like her celebrated in magazines, movies, or fashion campaigns. With her deep dark skin, natural hair, and quiet confidence, she represented a kind of beauty Hollywood had historically pushed into the background. For years, Lupita openly admitted she struggled with insecurity because society constantly associated lighter skin with attractiveness. In interviews, she revealed that as a child, she prayed to wake up with lighter skin, believing darker complexions could never truly be considered beautiful. Those painful feelings followed her into adulthood as she pursued acting. Everything changed in 2013 with 12 Years a Slave. Playing Patsy, Lupita delivered a devastating performance filled with emotional depth and vulnerability. Critics immediately recognized her talent, and in 2014 she won the Academy Award for Best Supporting Actress. At just 31 years old, she became one of Hollywood's brightest new stars almost overnight. But Lupita's impact went far beyond acting. Fashion and beauty industries suddenly had to confront their own outdated standards. Soon after her Oscar victory, she signed with Lancôme, becoming one of the company's first dark-skinned global ambassadors. Magazine covers followed rapidly: Vogue, Elle, Vanity Fair, and People, which later named her the most beautiful person in the world. What made Lupita revolutionary was not just her success, but her refusal to alter herself to achieve it. She embraced her natural skin tone proudly during a period when many actresses still faced pressure to appear lighter, softer, or more marketable. Young black girls across the world suddenly saw someone who looked like them being celebrated at the highest levels of fashion and entertainment. Her role as Nakia in Black Panther expanded that influence globally. Lupita became more than an actress. She became a symbol of self-acceptance and cultural pride. Hollywood once treated beauty like a narrow formula. Lupita Nyong'o helped break that formula forever. Halle Berry. Halle Berry didn't just become a movie star. She shattered barriers that Hollywood once claimed could never be broken. Born in Cleveland, Ohio in 1966, Berry first entered public attention through beauty pageants before transitioning into acting during the late 1980s. With her striking features, sharp confidence, and undeniable screen presence, she quickly stood out in an industry that still struggled to accept black women as global beauty icons. But behind the glamour was a woman constantly forced to prove she belonged. Early in her career, Hollywood often treated Halle Berry as too black for certain roles and not black enough for others. Casting directors admired her beauty, but frequently reduced her to stereotypes or supporting roles. Instead of giving up, Berry fought through years of rejection with relentless determination. Her breakthrough came through films like Boomerang, introducing Dorothy Dandridge, and Monsters Ball, where she proved she possessed emotional depth far beyond her appearance. Then came history. In 2002, Halle Berry won the Academy Award for Best Actress for Monsters Ball, becoming the first black woman ever to win the category. Her emotional acceptance speech instantly became one of the most unforgettable Oscar moments ever televised. Fighting back tears, Berry dedicated the award to every woman of color who had been denied opportunities before her. But Halle's impact extended far beyond acting. During the 1990s, major beauty companies rarely used black women as the face of luxury cosmetics. Berry helped change that reality when she became one of Revlon's most recognizable ambassadors. Her campaigns proved women of color could dominate global beauty advertising just as powerfully as anyone else. Over time, fashion magazines, luxury brands, and Hollywood studios began shifting their standards because audiences responded so strongly to her image. Even after decades in entertainment, Halle Berry remains a symbol of timeless beauty and resilience. Whether appearing in action films like John Wick Chapter 3 or directing her own projects, she continues evolving while refusing to let Hollywood define her limits. Halle Berry's greatest achievement may not simply be becoming beautiful in Hollywood. It was forcing Hollywood to finally recognize a beauty it had ignored for generations. Viola Davis. Viola Davis transformed pain, rejection, and struggle into one of the most powerful careers in modern Hollywood history. Born in South Carolina in 1965 and raised in deep poverty, Davis grew up far removed from the glamorous image usually associated with movie stars. She often spoke openly about hunger, discrimination, and insecurity during childhood, experiences that shaped the emotional intensity audiences later witnessed in her performances. For years, Hollywood failed to recognize Viola Davis as a leading actress despite her extraordinary talent. Industry executives repeatedly pushed narrow beauty standards that rarely included dark-skinned black women with natural features. Davis later admitted she spent much of her early career trying to fit into an image Hollywood considered more acceptable, often wearing wigs and altering her appearance to secure opportunities. Everything changed gradually through performances too powerful to ignore. Films like Doubt, The Help, and Fences showcased a level of emotional honesty that critics described as unforgettable. Then came How to Get Away with Murder, where Davis made television history as the first black woman to win the Emmy Award for Outstanding Lead Actress in a Drama Series. One of the most iconic moments of her career happened on screen when Viola removed her wig and makeup during an emotional scene in How to Get Away with Murder. The moment shocked audiences because it revealed a raw, vulnerable image of black womanhood rarely shown on mainstream television. Millions of viewers praised her for challenging beauty expectations that demanded perfection from women, especially black actresses. Viola Davis later became an ambassador for L'Oréal Paris in her 50s, helping prove beauty and influence do not disappear with age. Her natural hair appearances on red carpets also inspired countless women to embrace their authentic appearance rather than hide it. What makes Viola Davis extraordinary is that she never relied on traditional Hollywood glamour to become unforgettable. Her beauty comes from honesty, strength, emotional depth, and the courage to stand fully as herself in an industry that once told her she was not enough. Today, Viola Davis is not simply admired as an actress. She is respected as a woman who forced Hollywood to confront its own narrow definition of beauty and talent. Gabrielle Union. Gabrielle Union became one of Hollywood's most recognizable beauty icons, but her journey was far more painful and demanding than most fans ever realized. Born in Nebraska in 1972 and raised in California, Union first gained attention in the late 1990s through films like Bring It On, where her confidence, radiant smile, and magnetic screen presence instantly separated her from everyone else on screen. Over time, she evolved into one of the defining faces of black beauty in Hollywood, starring in projects such as Being Mary Jane, Bad Boys 2, and Think Like a Man. But behind the glamorous image was a woman constantly pressured to maintain perfection in an industry that rarely forgives aging, especially for black actresses. Gabrielle later admitted that Hollywood's beauty standards created enormous emotional stress throughout her career. While male actors were often praised for aging naturally, women faced relentless scrutiny over wrinkles, weight, skin tone, and appearance. Union fought back through discipline and self-confidence. She committed herself to intense fitness routines, careful nutrition, and mental wellness, refusing to allow the entertainment industry to define her worth. Yet she also spoke honestly about emotional exhaustion, anxiety, and the pressure to always appear flawless in public. What makes Gabrielle Union especially important in conversations about beauty standards is how openly she challenged colorism and representation issues inside Hollywood. Throughout her career, she pushed for greater visibility for darker-skinned black actresses and criticized an industry that frequently favored Eurocentric features. Instead of remaining silent, she used her platform to discuss identity, race, and self-worth in ways many celebrities avoided. Her beauty influence expanded even further through fashion campaigns, magazine covers, and social media, where millions praised her ageless appearance well into her 40s and 50s. But Gabrielle repeatedly reminded audiences that maintaining that image came with enormous effort and emotional sacrifice. Even today, Gabrielle Union continues redefining what confidence and beauty look like for mature black women in entertainment. She represents elegance without surrendering authenticity, strength without losing vulnerability, and glamour without erasing her identity. Hollywood once tried to make women like Gabrielle Union feel replaceable, Instead, she became unforgettable.
Danai Gurira. Danai Gurira changed Hollywood's understanding of beauty simply by refusing to hide who she was. Born in Iowa in 1978 to Zimbabwean parents and raised partly in Africa, Gurira entered the entertainment industry carrying a look Hollywood rarely celebrated at the time. Dark skin, a shaved head, sharp features, and unapologetic African identity. In an industry obsessed with long hair and conventional glamour, Danai arrived looking like a warrior rather than a traditional movie star. For years, Hollywood struggled to understand where she fit, but Danai never attempted to reshape herself to become more acceptable. Instead, she leaned fully into her uniqueness, building a reputation through intelligence, discipline, and commanding performances. Her breakthrough came through The Walking Dead, where she played Michonne, the fierce sword-wielding survivor who quickly became one of the show's most beloved characters. Audiences were captivated not just by her acting, but by her unforgettable presence. Suddenly, millions of viewers were seeing a bald black woman presented as powerful, beautiful, and heroic rather than hidden in the background. Then came Black Panther in 2018, the film that transformed Danai Gurira into a worldwide cultural symbol. Playing Okoye, leader of the Dora Milaje, Gurira carried herself with extraordinary pride and strength. Her bald head became iconic across the world, inspiring countless women to embrace natural beauty and reject outdated standards that linked femininity only to long hair or softness. One unforgettable scene showed Okoye refusing to wear a wig, symbolizing complete rejection of artificial expectations. The moment exploded online because audiences saw something rare: a black woman presented as regal, fierce, feminine, and powerful, exactly as she naturally was. Beyond acting, Danai also became respected as a playwright and activist focused on African storytelling and women's empowerment. She proved beauty is not always delicate or traditional. Sometimes beauty is strength, confidence, intelligence, and cultural pride combined into one unforgettable presence. Danai Gurira didn't ask Hollywood for permission to redefine beauty. She walked into the industry exactly as herself, and eventually forced the world to admire it. Sanaa Lathan. Sanaa Lathan spent more than 2 decades proving that grace, intelligence, and natural beauty could thrive in Hollywood without compromise. Born in New York City in 1971 into a family connected to the entertainment industry, Sanaa quickly developed a reputation for emotional performances and timeless elegance. During the late 1990s and early 2000s, films like Love and Basketball, Brown Sugar, and The Best Man transformed her into one of the most admired black actresses in Hollywood. Her soft voice, radiant smile, and natural curls made her stand out in an industry still obsessed with Eurocentric beauty standards. But behind the polished image was years of pressure to constantly alter herself to fit Hollywood expectations. Like many black actresses, Sanaa was repeatedly expected to straighten her hair, wear wigs, or soften her natural appearance to appear more marketable on screen. Although audiences admired her beauty, the industry often treated natural black hair as something that needed correction rather than celebration. Then came one of the boldest moments of her career. In 2017, while preparing for the Netflix film Nappily Ever After, Sanaa made the shocking decision to shave her head completely on camera. Unlike actresses who used bald caps or visual effects, she removed her real hair publicly, exposing a vulnerability rarely seen from major Hollywood stars. The moment instantly went viral because it symbolized far more than a haircut. For millions of black women, Sanaa's transformation represented freedom from years of pressure surrounding beauty, femininity, and identity. She later explained that the role helped her confront the emotional connection society places on women's hair and appearance. Instead of losing her beauty after shaving her head, many fans believed she became even more striking and powerful.
Her confidence challenged Hollywood's outdated idea that femininity depends on long hair or carefully controlled glamour. Sanaa Lathan's legacy goes beyond movies and red carpets. She became part of a larger cultural shift where Black women increasingly embraced natural beauty without apology. Hollywood once expected women like Sanaa to conform quietly. Instead, she helped inspire millions to feel beautiful exactly as they are. Zazie Beetz. Zazie Beetz brought a completely different kind of beauty into Hollywood. Raw, natural, unpredictable, and impossible to ignore. Born in Berlin, Germany in 1991 to a German father and African-American mother, Zazie grew up surrounded by different cultures and identities that later shaped her unique style and screen presence. Unlike traditional Hollywood stars carefully molded to fit industry standards, Beetz entered entertainment looking entirely like herself, especially through her unapologetic embrace of natural Afro-textured hair. Her breakout role arrived in Atlanta, where audiences instantly connected with her grounded charisma and unconventional beauty. She did not resemble the polished image Hollywood typically pushed onto leading actresses. Instead, she appeared authentic, expressive, and refreshingly human. That authenticity became even more important in 2018 when she appeared as Domino in Deadpool 2. Originally, comic book versions of the character were often portrayed with straight hair and heavily stylized features. But Zazie insisted on keeping Domino's natural Afro-inspired hairstyle rather than changing herself to match older expectations. The decision became a cultural moment. Fans celebrated seeing a Black superhero character wearing natural textured hair without apology or alteration. Social media exploded with praise because audiences rarely saw women with Afro hair represented as glamorous action stars in major blockbuster franchises. What makes Zazie Beetz especially powerful in conversations about beauty standards is how effortless her confidence feels. She never appears obsessed with perfection or trying to imitate traditional celebrity glamour. Instead, she embraces individuality, allowing imperfections, natural textures, and personal style to become part of her appeal. Fashion magazines soon embraced her unique image, with publications like Allure and Vogue praising her for helping normalize natural Black beauty in mainstream entertainment. Younger audiences especially connected to her because she represented a generation less interested in fitting old beauty rules. Zazie Beetz proved that beauty does not need to be polished into artificial perfection to become unforgettable. Sometimes the most revolutionary thing a woman can do in Hollywood is simply refuse to hide who she naturally is. Yara Shahidi. Yara Shahidi represents a new generation of Hollywood beauty. Intelligent, fearless, culturally proud, and completely unafraid to challenge old expectations. Born in Minnesota in 2000 to an African-American father and Iranian mother, Yara entered entertainment as a child actress before becoming internationally recognized through Blackish and its spin-off, Grownish. From the beginning, audiences noticed something different about her. She carried herself with confidence far beyond her age, combining natural beauty with intelligence and activism in a way Hollywood rarely promoted in young stars. Unlike earlier eras where actresses were pressured to separate beauty from intellect, Yara made both part of her identity. While building her acting career, she also became known for discussing politics, education, race, and representation publicly. Even while attending Harvard University, she continued balancing acting, activism, and fashion campaigns, creating an image that felt refreshing to younger audiences tired of artificial celebrity culture. One of the biggest moments in Yara Shahidi's rise came in 2020, when Disney announced she would portray Tinkerbell in Peter Pan and Wendy. The casting sparked massive online debate because many people had grown up imagining the iconic fairy as blonde-haired and white. But millions of fans celebrated Disney's decision, seeing Yara as proof that fantasy, beauty, and magic could finally include girls of color, too. What makes Yara especially important in conversations about beauty standards is her refusal to dilute her identity. She proudly embraces her curly, natural hair, brown skin, and multicultural background, while encouraging young women to feel confident in their own appearance. Fashion houses like Dior quickly recognized her influence, making her one of the youngest global ambassadors in the company's history. Beyond modeling and acting, Yara became symbolic of a deeper cultural shift. She showed Hollywood that beauty no longer needs to fit one narrow image or personality type. A woman can be intellectual, politically outspoken, youthful, elegant, and fashionable all at once. Yara Shahidi didn't simply become a beauty icon for Gen Z. She helped redefine what the next generation believes beauty should look like altogether. Tessa Thompson. Tessa Thompson built her image by doing something Hollywood has always feared: refusing to become predictable. Born in Los Angeles in 1983, Thompson slowly earned critical respect through performances in independent films and television before exploding into mainstream success with movies like Creed, Thor Ragnarok, and Westworld. But while audiences admired her acting talent, it was her fearless individuality that truly separated her from other Hollywood stars. Tessa never tried to fit traditional beauty standards designed by the entertainment industry. Instead of presenting herself as polished and safe, she embraced bold fashion choices, unconventional makeup, sharp hairstyles, and a style that blended elegance with rebellion. Her beauty felt unpredictable, sometimes glamorous, sometimes futuristic, sometimes almost confrontational. And that unpredictability became her power. One of her most talked about moments arrived during the 2021 Met Gala, where Tessa appeared in a dramatic, oversized red gown paired with heavy black lipstick and combat-inspired styling. While some critics were confused by the look, others praised her for turning the event into a statement about freedom, individuality, and artistic expression. Social media exploded with debate, but one thing became undeniable: people could not stop talking about her. What makes Tessa Thompson especially influential is that she refuses to separate femininity from strength. Hollywood once preferred black actresses to appear either safe or marketable, but Tessa challenged that formula completely. She embraced androgynous fashion influences, artistic risks, and unconventional beauty without apologizing for any of it. At the same time, her performances continued proving she possessed extraordinary range as an actress. Whether portraying Valkyrie in the Marvel Universe or emotional dramatic roles in smaller films, she brought intelligence and emotional depth to every project. Tessa Thompson's beauty is powerful because it feels entirely self-defined. She never waits for approval, never asks permission, and never reshapes herself to satisfy outdated expectations. In many ways, Tessa Thompson represents the future of Hollywood beauty. Not controlled by rules, trends, or industry standards, but created completely on her own terms. Kerry Washington. Kerry Washington became one of the most influential black actresses in television history by succeeding in an industry that repeatedly underestimated her beauty and power. Born in New York City in 1977, Washington built her early career quietly through supporting roles in films and television, earning respect for her intelligence and emotional depth long before Hollywood fully recognized her star potential. But despite her talent, executives often struggled to place her inside the entertainment industry's narrow image of what a leading lady was supposed to look like. For years, Kerry faced rejection from projects that claimed audiences would not connect with her appearance or screen presence. Hollywood at the time still leaned heavily toward lighter, safer, and more predictable standards of beauty for female leads. Kerry's sharp features, commanding gaze, and confident energy made her different from the traditional image many studios preferred. Rather than changing herself to fit those expectations, she stayed patient and continued developing her craft. Everything changed in 2012 with Scandal. Playing Olivia Pope, Kerry Washington became the first black woman in nearly 4 decades to headline a major network drama in the United States. The show exploded into a cultural phenomenon, attracting over 10 million viewers weekly during its peak and turning Kerry into one of television's most recognizable faces. Suddenly, the same industry that once doubted her beauty placed her on the covers of Vogue, Elle, Vanity Fair, and Glamour. She became a fashion icon celebrated for elegance, sophistication, and confidence. More importantly, she changed how Hollywood viewed black women as romantic leads, political power figures, and symbols of beauty on mainstream television. What makes Kerry Washington especially powerful is how naturally she carries herself. Her beauty never feels forced or manufactured. Instead, it comes through intelligence, composure, and emotional strength. Off-screen, she also became a strong advocate for voting rights, racial equality, and representation, proving substance and glamour can exist together. Kerry Washington didn't simply become successful in Hollywood. She helped open doors for an entirely new generation of black actresses who no longer needed permission to see themselves as the center of the story. Taraji P. Henson. Taraji P. Henson fought through rejection, financial struggle, and emotional exhaustion to become one of Hollywood's most unforgettable stars. Born in Washington, D.C. in 1970, Taraji entered the entertainment industry later than many actresses and with far fewer advantages. As a single mother trying to build a career, she often drove to auditions with her young son in the back seat, refusing to give up even when Hollywood repeatedly overlooked women who looked like her. From the start, Taraji possessed something impossible to ignore: bold energy, emotional honesty, and natural charisma. Films like Baby Boy, Hustle and Flow, and The Curious Case of Benjamin Button showcased her extraordinary range, eventually earning her an Academy Award nomination. But despite her talent, Hollywood still hesitated to give her the level of recognition many believed she deserved. Everything changed with Empire. As Cookie Lyon, Taraji created one of television's most iconic modern characters. Loud, fearless, glamorous, emotional, and completely unforgettable, Cookie became a cultural phenomenon almost instantly. Millions of viewers tuned in weekly, and Taraji's performance helped make Empire one of the biggest shows on television during its peak years. Yet behind the glamorous image was enormous pressure. Taraji later admitted that Hollywood places intense expectations on black actresses, especially regarding aging and appearance. While older male actors are often praised as distinguished or mature, women frequently face pressure to remain youthful forever. Taraji spoke openly about anxiety, depression, and the emotional exhaustion caused by constantly fighting for respect inside the industry. What makes Taraji P. Henson especially inspiring is her honesty. She refused to pretend fame erased pain or insecurity. Instead, she openly discussed therapy, mental health, self-worth, and the emotional cost of surviving Hollywood as a black woman. Even in her 50s, Taraji continues stunning audiences with her beauty, confidence, and magnetic personality. But her real power comes from resilience. She transformed every rejection, every insult, and every moment of doubt into fuel that pushed her forward. Taraji P. Henson didn't just survive Hollywood's beauty standards, she forced the industry to finally recognize a woman it could no longer ignore. Regina King. Regina King built one of the most respected careers in Hollywood, not by following trends, but by refusing to let the industry define her worth. Born in Los Angeles in 1971, King first gained attention during the 1980s through television, before steadily becoming one of the most powerful actresses of her generation. Unlike many stars shaped by Hollywood glamour, Regina's rise came through consistency, emotional depth, and an authenticity audiences trusted immediately. Throughout the 1990s and early 2000s, she appeared in films like Boys in the Hood, Jerry Maguire, and Ray. often delivering performances so strong that she elevated every scene she entered. Yet despite her talent and striking beauty, Hollywood frequently pushed her into supporting roles instead of positioning her as the leading face of major projects. Behind the scenes, beauty standards still favored lighter skin, softer features, and more marketable images. Regina refused to surrender to those expectations. She never dramatically changed her appearance or attempted to erase her identity to fit industry standards. Instead, she embraced her natural beauty, confidence, and emotional intelligence, slowly forcing Hollywood to recognize what audiences already saw. Her greatest moment arrived in 2019 when she won the Academy Award for Best Supporting Actress for If Beale Street Could Talk. After decades of being underestimated, Regina finally stood on Hollywood's biggest stage, holding an Oscar, while millions applauded her journey. For many Black women watching, it felt like long overdue recognition, not just for Regina, but for an entire generation often overlooked by the industry. Beyond acting, Regina King became admired for aging naturally in Hollywood without losing elegance or confidence. In an entertainment world obsessed with youth, she continued radiating beauty through maturity, intelligence, and emotional strength rather than artificial perfection. Then came another layer of heartbreak when Regina lost her son, Ian Alexander Jr., in 2022. Despite unimaginable grief, she carried herself with remarkable grace and privacy, earning even deeper respect from audiences worldwide. Regina King's story is powerful because she proved beauty is not about fitting Hollywood's rules. Real beauty is resilience, dignity, authenticity, and the courage to remain yourself even when the world keeps trying to reshape you. Nia Long. Nia Long became one of the defining beauty icons of Black Hollywood by doing something incredibly rare, remaining timeless without ever appearing artificial. Born in Brooklyn in 1970 and raised partly in Los Angeles, Nia entered television and film during an era when Black actresses still struggled for major visibility in mainstream entertainment. But from the moment audiences saw her on screen, she carried a natural magnetism impossible to ignore. During the 1990s, films like Boys in the Hood, Love Jones, Soul Food, and her unforgettable appearance on The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air transformed Nia Long into one of the most admired women in entertainment. Her glowing skin, expressive eyes, and calm confidence gave her a beauty that felt effortless rather than manufactured. Unlike many Hollywood stars built entirely around glamour, Nia's appeal came from warmth, intelligence, and emotional authenticity. What made Nia especially important in conversations about beauty standards was how naturally she embraced aging. As the years passed, audiences became fascinated by how little she seemed to change physically. Magazine covers, interviews, and social media constantly praised her youthful appearance, often calling her ageless. But unlike an industry obsessed with cosmetic procedures and extreme image control, Nia consistently projected simplicity and self-acceptance. Hollywood repeatedly pressured actresses to chase unrealistic beauty expectations as they grew older. Yet Nia Long resisted much of that pressure by maintaining confidence in her natural appearance. Instead of constantly reinventing herself to stay relevant, she allowed elegance and maturity to become part of her identity. Even beyond beauty, Nia earned respect for surviving Hollywood on her own terms. She balanced motherhood, career longevity, and public attention while avoiding much of the chaos that consumed many celebrities from her era. Fans admired her because she represented stability, grace, and authenticity in an industry often built around illusion. By the 2020s, younger generations had also embraced Nia Long as a symbol of timeless Black beauty. Her red carpet appearances continued going viral because audiences saw something increasingly rare in Hollywood: a woman aging naturally while still commanding attention effortlessly. Nia Long didn't redefine beauty through shock value or controversy. She did it quietly, gracefully, and consistently for more than 3 decades. Janelle Monáe. Janelle Monáe changed Hollywood beauty standards by refusing to look or behave like anyone else in the entertainment industry. Born in Kansas in 1985 and raised in a working-class family, Monáe entered music with a vision that felt completely different from mainstream pop culture. At a time when female artists were often expected to rely on sex appeal and predictable glamour, Janelle appeared wearing black and white tuxedos, natural hairstyles, and futuristic fashion inspired by art, rebellion, and individuality. Many critics did not understand her style at first, but that confusion quickly turned into admiration as albums like The Arc Android and Dirty Computer revealed her intelligence, creativity, and fearless originality. Rather than chasing traditional beauty standards, Janelle created her own identity. She blended masculinity, femininity, elegance, and rebellion into one unforgettable image that younger audiences connected with immediately. Her influence became even larger when she entered Hollywood through films like Hidden Figures and Glass Onion. Fashion magazines praised her bold red carpet appearances because she constantly took risks without losing sophistication. Unlike many celebrities carefully shaped by Hollywood executives, Monáe remained fully authentic to herself. What makes Janelle especially important is that she proved beauty does not need to fit one formula. A woman can be artistic, intellectual, unconventional, and still become a global icon. Her confidence encouraged many young Black women to embrace individuality instead of hiding behind unrealistic expectations. Janelle Monáe did not wait for Hollywood to redefine beauty standards. She walked into the industry with her own definition already created, and eventually forced the world to admire it. Tiffany Haddish. Tiffany Haddish became a Hollywood success story by embracing honesty, confidence, and authenticity in an industry obsessed with perfection. Born in Los Angeles in 1979, Haddish survived an extremely difficult childhood filled with poverty, instability, and foster care, before eventually finding success in comedy. Long before fame arrived, she struggled financially and often slept in her car while chasing opportunities in entertainment. Her breakout role in Girls Trip changed everything. Audiences instantly connected with Tiffany's fearless humor, emotional honesty, and explosive personality. Unlike many actresses carefully polished by Hollywood standards, Haddish felt real. She laughed loudly, spoke openly, and refused to hide the pain she survived growing up. One of the most powerful moments of her career came in 2021 when Tiffany shocked fans by shaving her head publicly during an Instagram live stream. Instead of hiding behind wigs or beauty expectations, she explained she wanted to finally see herself completely without outside pressure controlling her image. The moment immediately went viral across social media. Some critics questioned her decision, but millions admired the confidence behind it. For many women, especially Black women, Tiffany's shaved head symbolized freedom from unrealistic beauty standards that often define femininity through hair and appearance. What makes Tiffany Haddish especially inspiring is that she never pretends to be flawless. Her beauty comes from resilience, humor, vulnerability, and self-acceptance, rather than carefully manufactured perfection. Hollywood often rewards people who conform quietly. Tiffany Haddish became unforgettable because she refused to hide who she truly was. Meagan Good. Meagan Good became one of Hollywood's most recognizable beauty icons while growing up in front of the entire world. Born in California in 1981, Meagan entered the entertainment industry as a child actress and quickly gained attention for her natural charm, confidence, and striking appearance. Throughout the late 1990s and early 2000s, films like Eve's Bayou, Deliver Us from Eva, and Think Like a Man helped establish her as one of the most admired black actresses of her generation. But behind the glamorous image was constant pressure from Hollywood to maintain perfection. From a young age, Megan faced criticism about her appearance, clothing choices, and sexuality in ways many male actors never experienced. As social media grew, public scrutiny became even harsher, with people constantly debating whether she was too attractive, too provocative, or aging differently from other actresses. What made Megan especially influential in conversations about beauty standards was her confidence in embracing herself openly without apologizing. She never tried to completely change her personality or appearance to satisfy Hollywood expectations. Instead, she leaned into her femininity, style, and individuality while continuing to evolve personally and spiritually over time. Fans also admired how youthful she continued to look throughout her 30s and 40s. Online discussions regularly described her as ageless, with many viewers shocked at how little her appearance seemed to change over the years. Yet Megan often reminded audiences that true confidence comes from inner peace rather than outside approval. Even through public relationship struggles and intense media attention, she remained composed and resilient. Her beauty became connected not only to physical appearance, but also to emotional strength and self-belief. Meagan Good helped prove that black women could be glamorous, sensual, elegant, and respected simultaneously, without needing to fit into narrow Hollywood stereotypes. Keke Palmer. Keke Palmer redefined modern beauty standards by combining talent, authenticity, and fearless self-expression from an incredibly young age. Born in Illinois in 1993, Keke entered Hollywood as a child star and quickly stood out because of her energy, charisma, and natural confidence. Her breakout role in Akeelah and the Bee introduced audiences to a young actress capable of emotional depth far beyond her years. As Keke grew older, many child stars struggled with pressure, insecurity, or losing public support. But Palmer evolved successfully into adulthood while remaining authentic to herself. Whether acting, singing, hosting television shows, or dominating social media, she built a reputation for honesty and confidence that younger audiences deeply connected with. What makes Keke especially important in conversations about beauty standards is her openness about colorism, acne, anxiety, and unrealistic expectations placed on women in entertainment. Instead of pretending to be flawless, she spoke honestly about struggling with severe acne caused by polycystic ovary syndrome, showing fans unfiltered photos and encouraging self-acceptance. Her honesty became revolutionary in an era dominated by heavily edited celebrity images. Millions praised her because she allowed people to see imperfections without shame. Keke proved beauty does not disappear because someone experiences insecurity or physical struggles. At the same time, her fashion evolution and red carpet appearances transformed her into one of the most stylish young stars in Hollywood. She balanced glamour with relatability in a way that felt natural rather than forced. Keke Palmer's influence extends beyond acting because she represents a generation no longer willing to hide behind unrealistic beauty standards. She embraces humor, vulnerability, intelligence, and confidence all at once. Hollywood once expected young actresses to appear perfect every second. Keke Palmer became powerful because she showed audiences that being real can sometimes be even more beautiful. Zendaya. Zendaya became one of the most influential beauty icons of her generation by refusing to let Hollywood place limits on who she could be. Born in California in 1996, Zendaya first gained fame through Disney Channel before successfully transforming into a respected actress, fashion leader, and global celebrity. Unlike many former child stars who struggled to mature publicly, Zendaya evolved with remarkable confidence and control, carefully building an image rooted in intelligence, elegance, and authenticity. What made Zendaya especially powerful in conversations about beauty standards was her ability to move effortlessly between worlds. One moment she appeared wearing natural curls and minimal makeup, and the next she dominated international red carpets in dramatic couture designs that instantly went viral online. Fashion critics regularly praised her versatility because she could reinvent her image constantly without ever losing her identity. Her rise became even more significant because Hollywood historically offered few leading roles to young biracial black actresses who embraced natural beauty rather than fitting traditional stereotypes. Zendaya challenged that system directly. Through projects like Euphoria and Dune, she proved beauty and emotional complexity could exist together at the highest level of modern entertainment. In 2020, Zendaya made history as the youngest actress ever to win the Emmy Award for Outstanding Lead Actress in a Drama Series. Beyond acting, she became a major fashion force, working with luxury brands like Louis Vuitton and Valentino. Zendaya's influence matters because she represents a generation redefining beauty through individuality, intelligence, and self-confidence rather than unrealistic perfection.
Rihanna.
Rihanna transformed global beauty standards more dramatically than almost any celebrity of the modern era. Born in Barbados in 1988, Rihanna first became famous through music, but over time she evolved into something much larger than a pop star. With her fearless fashion choices, Caribbean identity, confidence, and constantly changing style, she challenged traditional ideas about beauty from the very beginning of her career. Unlike many celebrities who followed trends carefully, Rihanna created them. Whether wearing short natural curls, bold makeup, shaved hairstyles, or high-fashion couture, she constantly reinvented herself while remaining completely recognizable. Her confidence inspired millions of women who rarely saw themselves represented in mainstream beauty culture. But Rihanna's biggest impact came in 2017 with the launch of Fenty Beauty. At the time, many makeup companies still offered limited shades for darker skin tones. Rihanna changed the industry overnight by releasing foundation in 40 shades during the brand's launch, later expanding even further. The move forced major beauty corporations worldwide to finally address inclusivity seriously. The success was massive. Fenty Beauty generated hundreds of millions of dollars while earning praise for making women of all skin tones feel seen. Many experts later called it the Fenty effect because competing brands quickly expanded their own shade ranges after Rihanna's success. Beyond business, Rihanna's beauty influence comes from fearlessness. She embraces imperfections, individuality, pregnancy, motherhood, and aging without hiding behind unrealistic expectations. Even while becoming a billionaire entrepreneur, she remained relatable to fans because she never appeared desperate to fit Hollywood's traditional mold. Rihanna didn't simply become beautiful inside the entertainment industry. She changed the beauty industry itself forever. Naomi Campbell. Naomi Campbell did not simply enter the fashion industry. She forced it to confront its own racism and beauty standards head-on. Born in London in 1970, Naomi began modeling as a teenager and quickly became one of the most recognizable faces in fashion history. During the late 1980s and 1990s, she dominated runways for luxury brands like Versace, Chanel, and Yves Saint Laurent. Her fierce walk, striking features, and unmatched confidence transformed her into one of the original supermodels, alongside names like Cindy Crawford and Linda Evangelista. But Naomi's rise came during a period when black models were still heavily excluded from major magazine covers and luxury campaigns. Despite clearly being one of the most talented models in the world, Naomi repeatedly faced discrimination because of her skin color. Some designers refused to book black women entirely, while certain magazines hesitated to place them on covers out of fear sales would decline. Instead of remaining silent, Naomi fought back publicly. She openly criticized racism inside the fashion industry and supported younger black models struggling through the same barriers. One of the most famous moments came when Yves Saint Laurent reportedly threatened to pull advertising from French Vogue unless Naomi appeared on the cover. What made Naomi revolutionary was not only her beauty, but also her refusal to apologize for her presence. She carried herself with power at a time when many black women were expected to appear quiet and grateful simply to be included. Even decades later, Naomi Campbell remains a global beauty icon. Her influence helped create space for future generations of black models, actresses, and celebrities to be recognized at the highest levels of fashion and entertainment. Naomi Campbell did not adapt to beauty standards. She helped destroy old ones and replace them with something far more inclusive. Letitia Wright. Letitia Wright became an international star by embracing authenticity in an industry obsessed with image and perfection. Born in Guyana in 1993 and raised in London, Wright entered acting quietly through small television roles before eventually capturing worldwide attention with her intelligence, emotional depth, and natural screen presence. Unlike many Hollywood stars carefully shaped by publicity machines, Letitia always appeared grounded, humble, and deeply connected to her identity. Her breakthrough came through Black Panther, where she played Shuri, the brilliant younger sister of King T'Challa. Audiences instantly connected with her energy, humor, intelligence, and natural beauty. At a time when Hollywood still often reduced black women to stereotypes, Letitia represented something refreshing. A dark-skinned black woman portrayed as technologically brilliant, funny, elegant, and emotionally complex all at once. The success of Black Panther changed global conversations around representation and beauty. Millions of young black girls suddenly saw someone who looked like them becoming one of the most beloved characters in one of the world's biggest movie franchises. Letitia's natural hairstyles, soft-spoken confidence, and refusal to overly glamorize herself made her stand out even more. What makes Letitia Wright especially important in conversations about beauty standards is her quiet confidence. She never relied heavily on scandal, shock value, or exaggerated celebrity behavior to gain attention. Instead, audiences admired her because she felt genuine and relatable in a world often built around artificial perfection. Even through personal controversy and intense public pressure, Wright continued carrying herself with resilience and professionalism. Fashion brands and magazines soon embraced her image because she represented a newer form of beauty built around intelligence, individuality, and authenticity. Letitia Wright proved Hollywood audiences were ready to celebrate black beauty in its natural form, not altered, softened, or reshaped to fit outdated expectations. Zoe Saldana. Zoe Saldana became one of the highest-grossing actresses in Hollywood history while quietly challenging long-standing beauty standards in the entertainment industry. Born in New Jersey in 1978 to Dominican and Puerto Rican parents, Zoe entered Hollywood during a period when Latina and black actresses were often pushed into narrow stereotypes or supporting roles. Yet, from the beginning, she carried a unique elegance and confidence that immediately separated her from many rising stars of her generation. Her early performances in films like Center Stage and Drumline introduced audiences to her charisma, but it was blockbuster franchises that transformed her into a global icon. Zoe became part of 3 of the biggest movie franchises ever created: Avatar, Guardians of the Galaxy, and Star Trek. Together, those films generated billions of dollars worldwide, making her one of the most commercially successful actresses in cinematic history. What makes Zoe especially important in conversations about beauty standards is that much of her success happened despite Hollywood historically struggling to embrace women with mixed ethnic backgrounds and darker complexions as universal leading stars. Instead of altering herself to appear more acceptable, Zoe embraced her natural identity proudly. Even while playing heavily CGI-enhanced characters like Neytiri and Gamora, audiences still connected deeply with her emotional presence and unmistakable beauty. Off-screen, fashion magazines praised her sophisticated style, natural features, and graceful confidence. She represented a version of beauty that felt modern, multicultural, and globally relatable. Zoe Saldana helped prove that women of color could dominate blockbuster cinema without losing their identity or individuality. Hollywood once treated diversity as a risk. Zoe helped turn it into worldwide success. Amandla Stenberg. Amandla Stenberg became a powerful symbol of modern beauty by embracing individuality, activism, and self-expression from a remarkably young age. Born in Los Angeles in 1998, Amandla first gained worldwide recognition after appearing in The Hunger Games. Although the role was relatively small, audiences immediately noticed her screen presence and natural confidence. As she grew older, Amandla became known not only for acting, but also for openly challenging Hollywood beauty standards and conversations surrounding race, gender identity, and self-acceptance. In an industry that often pressures young stars to fit carefully controlled images, Amandla consistently chose authenticity instead. One of her most talked about moments came when she shaved her head for a film role and confidently embraced the transformation publicly. Rather than hiding behind wigs or traditional glamour, she presented herself naturally and unapologetically. The decision sparked major conversations online because many young fans saw someone rejecting the idea that femininity depends on hair, makeup, or conventional beauty rules. Fashion brands and magazines quickly embraced Amandla's bold individuality. Publications praised her for representing a younger generation less interested in perfection and more focused on authenticity and freedom of expression. What makes Amandla Stenberg especially influential is her willingness to speak honestly about identity and self-worth while still navigating fame at a young age. She showed audiences that beauty can exist alongside vulnerability, activism, and emotional honesty. Amandla helped redefine beauty for a generation no longer interested in hiding who they truly are just to feel accepted. Beyoncé. Beyoncé became one of the most influential beauty icons in modern history by transforming confidence, talent, and Black femininity into global power. Born in Texas in 1981, Beyoncé first rose to fame through Destiny's Child, before building one of the greatest solo careers ever seen in music. With record-breaking albums, sold-out tours, and dozens of Grammy Awards, she evolved far beyond celebrity status into a worldwide cultural phenomenon. But Beyoncé's influence extended beyond music. During the late 1990s and early 2000s, mainstream beauty industries still heavily favored narrow Eurocentric standards. Beyoncé helped change that reality by becoming one of the most visible Black women on Earth while fully embracing Southern Black culture, curves, natural features, and powerful femininity. Throughout her career, fashion magazines, luxury brands, and global campaigns celebrated her beauty and style. Yet Beyoncé also faced constant public scrutiny regarding body image, hair, skin tone, and appearance. Pressures that many Black women recognized immediately. Instead of allowing criticism to weaken her confidence, she transformed self-love into part of her artistic identity. Albums like Lemonade especially deepened her cultural impact. The visuals celebrated Black womanhood, African heritage, natural hairstyles, and generational resilience in ways mainstream pop culture rarely attempted before. Millions of women around the world connected with the message because Beyoncé presented Black beauty not as secondary or alternative, but as powerful, luxurious, and unforgettable. Beyond entertainment, Beyoncé's influence shaped fashion, beauty marketing, and representation across global media. Younger artists and influencers often cite her as proof that Black women can dominate every level of culture without minimizing their identity. Beyoncé did not simply become a beauty icon, She helped redefine what global beauty could look like in the modern era. These women did more than become famous. They changed how the world sees Black beauty forever. From Angela Bassett and Halle Berry to Lupita Nyong'o, Rihanna, and Beyoncé, each of them challenged an industry that once claimed only one type of beauty could succeed. Some embraced natural hair, darker skin, aging gracefully, or unconventional fashion, while millions watched them redefine confidence on their own terms. And today, younger generations are finally growing up seeing beauty that looks more diverse, powerful, and authentic than ever before. But here's the real question. Has Hollywood truly changed, or are Black women still fighting the same beauty standards behind the scenes? Share your thoughts in the comments below, and don't forget to subscribe to Memory Lane Black People for more emotional, untold stories about legendary Black icons.